Good morning, guys. It's Lori from PassionatePennyPincher.com, and today I am so excited. We are making some homemade cinnamon rolls. These are almost homemade cinnamon rolls. All you need is some homemade bread dough or already pre-made frozen bread dough that you can find at the store. You need some sugar, some cinnamon, some butter, some powdered sugar. This is one of my favorite recipes ever. Click the link in the video if you'd like the recipe. And if you are just hopping on, hop on and tell me good morning. Tell me if your kids are still in school and if you're making anything yummy tonight. I would love to hear what y'all are up to. And if you're a regular Passionate Penny Pincher reader, you know that I have not been on because we were traveling last week on vacation. Y'all, I have to be just real honest with you. Hey, Tina, good morning. Y'all know we were in Europe. We had an amazing time. But for anyone hopping on and looking at me who's a regular around here, you know that my eyes look more puffy than they should probably look. Y'all, I got this horrible eye infection or something going on with me while we were in Europe. I literally didn't take any pictures in Europe because this is the best my eyes have looked in 10 days and they look awful. So if you're normal around here and you're like, Laura, you look really rough today, I do look rough. I'm heading to the doctor at 1 o'clock and I'm hoping they can fix my eyes because they look bad. Good morning, Sue. Hey, Clarissa. Hi, Deidre. Y'all, the trip was amazing. So much fun. But I'm going to hop on and I will make you this recipe. If y'all have any tips on what to do with your eyes when you have some kind of awful eye irritation, I'm ready to have my face look normal again, but that's okay. Anyways, hey Lisa, hi Anita. Let's go ahead and let's get making this recipe. Y'all, this is one of the best. Okay, so all you need is a loaf of pre-frozen bread dough. So this is frozen bread dough. You can find it in your local grocery store at, I find it in the freezer section at my store. I use the Kroger brands. Rhodes makes a brand if you don't have a Kroger nearby that works great. So you need the homemade bread dough. Then you're going to need a cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, a little bit of milk, about a tablespoon of milk. You'll also need some cinnamon, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 5 tablespoons of sugar, a round pan, and we're gonna get started. So this is my bread dough that I took last night, and you can click the link in the video and get this recipe. This is like my kids' favorite, so I'm just making it because I love them, and it's our first real day home after vacation and having a crazy trip. Oh, Angela, the trip was amazing. It was just fantastic. Okay, so here's the bread dough. This is basically, I've thawed this overnight on top in my kitchen. It's thawed overnight. I put some saran wrap over it, thawed out. So that's the first thing you're gonna do. Then you're gonna take your frozen bread dough, well, now thawed out bread dough, and you're gonna roll it with a rolling pin. Cold compress for my eyes. I have been doing that. I've got this eye roller and I've been rolling my eyes all morning. Y'all, I hope the doctor can figure out what is going on because I never have had anything like this, and it is just a really bad allergic reaction. I was like struggling to even do Facebook Live this morning because I thought these people cannot look at these poor pitiful eyes. So I'm hoping my face looks back to normal one day. We'll see. Thank you for any tips on what to do with crazy eyes after something irritates them, because it's 10 days of misery, which really stunk. But other than that, the trip was amazing. I just had itchy eyes the whole time. I'm hoping we can get that fixed today. Okay, so we're rolling out our bread dough. You're gonna roll it out pretty thin. My kids are out running this morning, so they were super excited that I was making cinnamon rolls, and I feel a little bit less guilty making cinnamon rolls when I know they're out exercising, so they're coming home to get something yummy. So I'm rolling this out. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Now you're gonna take your stick of butter. Let's see, can y'all see this pretty well? Hey, Stacy. Stacy, I am gonna try the eye drops. I'm hoping the doctor will give me some eye drops today that will help. Okay, so here's 5 tablespoons of butter or margarine. You can use either one. And then I'm gonna save the rest to put on on top of the cinnamon rolls once they're done. So you're gonna go ahead and you're just gonna spread the butter out. And you wanna get the butter at a pretty good room temperature so you can spread it. How many of you guys, give me a heart if you have made this recipe before. I found this recipe in guideposts years and years and years ago. And it is probably the one recipe that, of all the things I make when people come, my cookies and these are the 2 recipes that people are like, oh, Laurie, make those again if they come to visit. Okay, so here we go. So I don't even make anything different. I do my cookies and these I mean, I know these are always winners and everybody's always happy to have them, and they only get them when they're at my house. So it's an easy one to do. Okay, so we've got our butter. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add, hang on just a second, 5 tablespoons of regular sugar. So this is just 5 tablespoons of plain old sugar, and you're just gonna sprinkle it around. Click the link in the video if you would like the recipe. This is so easy, but I'm telling you what, you can do anything with this frozen bread dough. It's so super cheap, and you can make it into rolls. You can make garlic bread from it. It's just super convenient, so I always keep it in my fridge so that if we just need something extra, I can always make it super easily. So there's the 5 tablespoons of sugar. Now we're gonna do 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. Y'all, I just forgot how many I did. Have I already done 2, or was this? I'm gonna do 1 more. I'm gonna maybe have too much cinnamon. I can't remember how many I just counted. Let's see, I think I can do 1 more. 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. I hope that was right and not 4 teaspoons. If so, it's gonna be extra cinnamony. Now, when you roll it out, you can see I kind of have it longer this way. So you always wanna roll it. I always have to think this through. You wanna roll it this way so that your rolls are fatter. Okay, so we're gonna roll it this way. I have a can of pizza dough. I think, Dawn, I absolutely think pizza dough would work. I would think pizza dough would work, because basically it's all just bread dough. So any type of dough, you can make homemade bread dough. I've done it where I've made the bread machine bread dough. In fact, I haven't made that recipe in forever. I'm gonna make that. I will make that later this week or next week for sure. We'll have like a summer of baking. What do you think? Okay, so there's my cinnamon rolls, right? Now you're gonna you can take a knife or a pizza slicer, and you're just gonna slice into these. And you're just gonna make nice, small slices. And this bread dough is so risen this morning because it's so warm out. It rises a lot faster in the summertime. But I'm gonna have really big, puffy cinnamon rolls today, which is so nice. Sometimes in the winter, it's hard to get them to puff up because it's so cool out, but these are so chubby. These are just nice, chubby cinnamon rolls. Oh my gosh, I can't even wait. I'm kind of bummed because I ate breakfast this morning because we're still on this crazy European time zone, and so I'm hungry at times that I'm not normally hungry at. So I had to eat some this morning. Okay, can you guys see that very well? Let me scooch this all up so you can see it the wrong way. Okay, here, let's do this. Can y'all see that? There we go. Okay, so now you're just gonna take this. This is an old Pampered Chef pan of my mother-in-law's. It should work fine. I have not greased it because it's one of those that you're not supposed to have to grease. If I was making this in a regular pan, I would totally grease it. So when you're making it, you should probably grease it. But supposedly I don't have to grease this one. And I would do a regular, this is a little bit bigger circle, which works great since these are so puffy. But I'm gonna put these around the right way and they will puff into the center. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna bake these for 8 to 10 minutes. Well, 10 to 15 minutes, probably about 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna make the frosting. So you're gonna bake them at 350. And then we're gonna make the frosting, which is super easy. All you need is a cup of powdered sugar, about a teaspoon of milk, and a half teaspoon of vanilla. And you're just gonna sit here. And like I said, you can click the link in the video and get the recipe. This is just the easiest, happiest little bit of morning for summertime. My kids adore this. I would love to hear, what are your kids doing this summer? And then I'll hop on, answer any questions. It's gonna take 10 minutes to make, so it's probably gonna be on longer than I'll make you guys wait for, but I'll show you, if you click the link in the video, you can see what they look like after they're made. So that's it. And then you drizzle this over while they're warm. I'll also use the extra butter, and then I'll put this over, and that's it. Super fun, super easy, yummy recipe. And then I'm gonna check your questions. Y'all just be ready. For those of you who hopped on late, my eyes Okay, so I got an eye allergy. Well, they don't look as bad in that light. That's good. I had an allergic reaction to something when we were traveling, and I feel like I look like this is after layers of makeup. What I look like right now is really kind of horrible. So, and they itch like crazy, and I'm trying not to itch them. Let me read your questions about cinnamon rolls. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed seeing pics of the trip. It was a fantastic trip. It was fantastic. Hey, Sarah, glad to see you. Sarah. My friend Sarah just hopped on. She has had a season. I will say that. That's all I'll say, Sarah. Anyway, so I just got this eye infection, Sarah, while I was at, I used one of those sleep masks to like help me sleep on the plane, and literally my eyes, like when I wake up in the morning, they're so red, I couldn't even take pictures. It was terrible. Anyways, Kimberly, my shirt is from Target, and I hope I didn't just get something on it. I don't think I did. Oh, good. Have you gone to the doctor? I'm going to the doctor today at 1 o'clock. And like I said, this is the best they've looked because I put makeup on. Without makeup, I mean, I look like I've never seen anything like it. Sarah, we missed you guys, and I hope we were missing you big time with summertime because Reagan is bored out of her mind. Oh, Rachel, you're new here. I am so glad you're here, Rachel. Rachel, we talk about ways to save money here, things to do just to make your life easy and happier and simple. So I'm glad you're here today. Good morning, Phyllis. I'm so glad that you're here. Anyways, that's about all I got today. That's it. So I'm hoping that these cinnamon rolls will come out amazing and be super yummy. I think if y'all have any questions, I'll answer those. For those of you who hopped on late, we did go to Europe for 10 days. We went to Germany, Austria, Switzerland. We drove through Liechtenstein, which I didn't know. Liechtenstein is a small country in Europe. It's teeny tiny. We drove through it, and it took about 7 minutes to drive through the whole country, but we were like at the top point. So that was really, really fun, and it's been a great week. But I'm exhausted, and I'm ready for my eyes to look back to normal again. How do you get the recipe, Lorraine? Just click the link in the video, and you'll be able to get the recipe. Hey, Beth in Indiana, so glad to see you. Oh my gosh, you're new too, Jennifer. If you're new, you have to try this recipe. It's so super easy. It doesn't take a whole lot of work to do it. It's amazing. Show us our souvenirs. Holly, the only souvenir we brought back. Let me think. We do one, this is a really smart tip for those of you who are traveling this summer. This is all we do for souvenirs. We don't buy souvenirs at all when we go on trips anymore because we realize we just end up throwing them away eventually. So what we do is we buy one ornament from wherever we go. So we got one ornament for our Christmas tree, and we have a Christmas tree that we put all of our vacation trip stuff on. So that's kind of our special thing. And then I did buy 2 postcards, and that was it. So I didn't buy anything super fun. That was about all. Hey, Mindy. Hi, Brian. So glad to, let's see, Brian's honey, so glad to see you. Good morning, Loopnik, so glad to see you. Hi, Patricia. You want to see the end results? Sally, I don't want to make y'all sit here for 10 minutes. We got 7 minutes left. If you have any questions about penny pinching or anything else, I'll answer those for a second. But I don't know that I got 6. Oh, we got 6 minutes left. I'm trying to hang out there. Brie, isn't it the best and easiest cinnamon roll recipe on the planet? It's so simple and so much better than like the grand cinnamon rolls. It's even better than Cinnabons. It's like a Cinnabon at home. Hey, Corey, I didn't see you. You can wait, Holly. I don't know. Let me see how they're doing. Let's check on them. Oh, they look so good. Do y'all want to take a peek? We can do 7 minutes. You want to do 7 minutes? Jennifer, for traveling, I guess I could give you guys some travel tips. I don't know what I got for 6 minutes. I didn't plan well for 6 minutes. You can tell I'm still just getting back from vacation. I'm trying to think of what else to tell you about ways to save. I will tell you ways to save on vacation. I can do that maybe. I can come up with a couple things. One is don't buy souvenirs. So if you do get into where you want to buy souvenirs, buying postcards is super cheap, and you can have your kids keep a little file folder, they can take a little photo album and put their postcards in it, and that's a super inexpensive way to travel. One big thing for our family that was huge is we always we have breakfast in the hotel. So we paid extra to have hotel breakfast, but it saved us so much stress and pressure that it was worth every penny. If I was really penny pinching, and especially when our kids were littler, I would probably just have done granola bars, and that would have been even cheaper. But it made it so nice not to have to worry about getting a big meal in the morning, and then we could eat a big breakfast at the hotel. All the hotels we went to had big breakfast buffets, so we had our kids stuff their faces there, and then we just had like a light lunch or maybe a snack for lunch, and then we had a big dinner. So having that saved us only having to buy 1 day's worth of big meals every day really does save a ton of money. You do ornaments and postcards too, Stacy. I love the ornaments and postcards. That's such a big way to save because we used to buy things like t-shirts and hats and whatever, and we didn't use them, and then they just got wasted, and that felt really silly. So definitely that helps a ton. You need to make these for the last day of school on Friday. Kelly, yes, you do. They are so good. Lexi, cinnamon rolls intimidate you? Lexi, click the link in the video. We got 4 minutes on these. Click the link in the video. These are the easiest cinnamon rolls. You can totally make these so super easy. So just click the link in the video and you should get the recipe. You're so sweet. Oh, Stacy, you said I look great. Stacy, if you saw the level of makeup that is covering up my eyes, like my kids were literally, they looked at me this morning, they're like, Mom, it's not getting any better. I have so much makeup on and I have a filter on my camera to make it look a little bit better. Yeah, it's if you look close, see? Oh, they're just, oh, it's bad. You never thought about ornaments? Yeah, Angelica, it's a great way, and we love opening those ornaments every year. At Christmas, it's fun to be like, oh, remember when we went here and there? It's a great way to have great memories. So I definitely like the ornament idea, and I'm glad we came up with that when our kids were little. My kids are on summer break. Bree, yes, I'm not quite ready for it. The 2 older ones are out running this morning. Reagan is downstairs on a phone with a friend, and so yeah, they're home, which is good, but also crazy. As a working mom, summertime is awesome, but also a little bit nuts. You're taking the beach in 9 days, 5 and 20 months. It's gonna be an adventure. Oh my gosh. If you're taking your kiddos that are little to the beach, you are gonna be, oh my gosh, 5 and 20 months old. Let me see who that was. Let me see your name. Hey, Sarah. Sarah, bless your heart. You are gonna be exhausted. I remember when my kids were that age, taking them to the beach. I think that's almost the hardest age at the beach because you have to constantly worry about them by the water. So I'm gonna be saying this prayer for you. Keep those floaties on those babies because I know you know that. But anyways, it is such a fun time though too to be able to sit and make sandcastles, and that's just a great season. Was this mask infused with something, Betty? I don't know what it was infused with. I threw it in the trash can because literally I woke up. I used it one day I used it on the plane to try to help me be able to sleep, which I wasn't able to sleep at all on the plane to Europe. Y'all know I'm terrified of flying, so I didn't sleep at all on the plane there. And then there's one kiddo coming back to check the cinnamon rolls. I used it on the way in the airplane for a couple hours, and then I tried it one more night, and I didn't realize what had happened, and I woke up and I was just big and red and puffy. Do I have a recipe for the homemade dough? Jolene, I use home style bread dough. This is the bread dough I use. So this is frozen from Kroger. Rhodes, if you don't have a Kroger nearby, Rhodes makes a brand as well that's really good to use. What were some things in Europe that you did besides sightseeing? We did a lot of sightseeing and a lot of hiking. We went 60, what did we say? We did 67 miles while we were there walking. So in 10 days, so we did, well, probably about 8 days really, because 2 days were travel. So in 8 days, we did 67 miles. So we hiked and walked a lot. We didn't really do anything. We did a couple expensive things. We went and saw the Neuschwanstein Castle, which was incredible. If you're ever in Germany, it's about, I think it was about an hour out of Munich, and that was fantastic. So I definitely loved the castle that we got to see. That was probably my favorite thing. And then hiking, everything in Switzerland. We stayed in Lucerne, which is crazy expensive. And so we had a travel agent, and she recommended that we only stay in Switzerland for a few days because Switzerland is so expensive. It was super expensive. And so we really did not stay very long there. I could have stayed forever there, but the price, I couldn't get over how expensive Switzerland was. It was really, really expensive. You're doing a family cruise at the end of the summer, 17, 11, 8, and 4 to the Bahamas. Angelica, that sounds amazing. What kind of shoes did you wear for walking? I have some little Nike tennis shoes that I wore, and I also wear, my Toms work really well, so I wore my Toms a lot too. So we just wore good shoes and walked and walked. We hiked one hill that was in the snow, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have good shoes to hike uphill, and my kids and husband did it, but I didn't do it. Okay, I think the cinnamon rolls are ready. Y'all are so patient. Okay, I think they're ready. Let me see. Oh, they're not quite ready. I'm gonna let you guys come take a peek, and then I can't just sit here and talk on and on. I mean, I can, but y'all probably don't want to listen to that. Let's see. You can't see them because of the light. They need about 3 more minutes. They may need 5 more minutes. I don't know, guys. Where did you get your Toms? I get my Toms online during special sales. Toms has great sales, and so I normally wait. Hang on. For their great sales, and then I hopped on. Switzerland was amazing. It was absolutely beautiful. You've been there? Guys, I don't know. We can sit here. If y'all have any other money-saving questions, I'll answer them for 4 minutes while we wait on the cinnamon rolls, or I'll hop off. Can you give some travel money-saving tips for a family? You have 6 people. Okay, this is my biggest tip. And I was telling my husband, we were talking about the trip, about how I'm going to write a blog post about the trip and what kind of things to tell you guys. The biggest thing that we do is we save money all year long for vacation. So every single month we put in a couple $100s or whatever. I don't even know how. This time it was obviously more because Europe was so expensive. We put money every single month into a travel fund. There's a lot of things we don't do. So things that we don't do, we don't eat out much. When we do eat out, it's very rare that we go to a sit-down meal. If we eat out, it's more like maybe a Panera, or I don't know, where do we eat? We eat Jason's Deli a lot, which is expensive, I feel like, but we hardly ever go to restaurants to sit down. We don't buy fancy clothes. I do have my Stitch Fix stuff. Everything else, like I'm wearing, this is Target. These are Target. I don't spend a whole lot of money on clothes. I probably would spend even less if I didn't do Facebook Live, but I do feel like I have to kind of pull it together for that. My kids buy a lot of their clothes at Goodwill, so we save everywhere else because really, truly travel is kind of our fun thing. So the biggest thing I can tell you is if you really want to travel, save in other areas so that you can have the money, because the thing that I feel like when we travel, and especially as I'm getting older, I'm getting old and kind of like picky, I don't want to go and stay at a yucky hotel. I want to stay at a nice hotel because I can't sleep if I stay at a yucky hotel. So I would rather save on the stuff that we do at home every day so that we can splurge on vacation. And for us, that's worth it. We don't have fancy cars. We don't have fancy furniture. Like, we buy a few things and we love them forever. We just don't spend frivolously. So that's what allows us to have money for vacation. And we can vacation much better now than we could when our kids were littler. Will you try the new, Kimberly, you asked if I'll try the new odors of Zaycon. I have not yet found a Zaycon option in my area, so I will try them once we have one come up in our area, but we haven't had that yet. Elaine, what is it about a nicer hotel? Like, it's a splurge, but if I'm only gonna go there once in my life, I wanna stay at a nice hotel. And so we don't always stay in nicer hotels, but we do if we can. I do love Airbnb, so if you're traveling inside the United States, I love Airbnb. We're doing a VRBO this summer. We almost always Airbnb or do VRBOs in the summertime. Saving on meals while you're out. Meals get really expensive. Saving on souvenirs, like, we don't spend on that stuff. So we really just go, we do a lot of the free activities. We don't usually do a lot of the tours and stuff. We did a couple tours this time, but honestly, we enjoyed hiking more. So hiking is a great way to see things. Any travel websites you would recommend? VRBO and Airbnb for sure. We do also do a lot of Southwest flying, which helps. These are not ready. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Why are these not getting ready? 2 minutes. 2 more minutes. You have a hard time not eating out. Casey, eating out, I'm telling you what. I was thinking about this when we were traveling. Starbucks costs, somebody out there who's smart, do the math for me. A Starbucks coffee costs $3 at the minimum, probably $4. If you're getting, let's say you get Starbucks, let's say it costs $5 at Starbucks, just to make my math easy here. So if Starbucks costs $5 and you get that 4 days a week, let's just say, surely you're not getting it that much. If you get 3 days a week, so it's $15, so that's $60 a month. Right there is $720 a year because you give up your Starbucks habit. Groceries and eating out is huge. If you are not saving on your groceries and shopping places like Aldi, you guys, if you could cut your grocery budget by $100 a week, if you could get your budget down to $100 a week, and let's say you're spending $200, so that's $400 a month. That's 400 times 12, $4,800 a year. You just paid for vacation. So I really want you to think about that, and that's the biggest thing I will tell you is we've been pinching pennies for so long that we just naturally, our grocery budget for our family of 5 is $100 a week. That's what we spend. We make lots of meals at home, and it's easy. So I encourage you to do that for sure. Did you preheat the oven? I did preheat the oven, so I think it's because they were so puffy. You're in Airbnb in London, it was super cheap, about 1/3 of the price. Michelle, that's fantastic. So you did Airbnb in another country. So my husband planned this whole trip. He was not a penny pincher. He likes to travel well. He's a penny pincher at home. On everything we do, he's cheap, but he was like not a penny pincher when it comes to going on vacation. And I think Airbnb sounds like a great way to save in Europe too. Did you put, Caitlin, I started to upload all of my pictures this morning, but I haven't been able to. But if you follow me on Instagram, in the Instagram highlights in Europe, you can see that for sure. What is Airbnb? Airbnb is similar to VRBO. You rent out a house. from somebody else, and we have had great experiences with Airbnbs. Bree, I'm so glad that you have been able to save cutting down eating out. Eating out is like the grocery budget buster of the world. It's terrible for it's not healthy. Like I love eating out. I love eating out, but it's one of those things that I just can't justify when I really want to save a ton of money. I think these are gonna be ready enough. I'm gonna tell you that they tend to be a little underdone, and I can't find my gloves, so I'm using my husband's grill glove. Hang on. Let's see. Sorry, as I'm like, let's see if I can get this. These are slightly underdone still, but they're gonna be fine. Hang on. Okay. I did not expect to show you guys the full video, so I thought I would have time to like get this together. Here we go. Here's the cinnamon rolls at the end. There we go. How yummy do those look? So let's just do an example on these cinnamon rolls. This is like a perfect example of penny pinching. How much would a dozen cinnamon rolls cost at Cinnabon? What would you guess? Probably you would easily spend for this many rolls at Cinnabon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably $3 a piece, $30, right? $30. These cost me about $1.25 to make. So, do you see how eating at home can be a little bit healthier? Well, this isn't healthier. A huge bit of penny pinching. So I just take the butter. Remember, we use 5 tablespoons of butter, so this is the leftover butter. I'm just gonna take it, smudge it around a bit, let it melt down into the goo. Y'all, my kids are I'm gonna be so happy. This makes me really happy. Yeah, super happy. So we've got that all done. And now I'm gonna take the frosting. Again, click the link in the video to get the recipe. I'm actually gonna add, this is awfully thin, I'm gonna add a little bit more powdered sugar. And you can totally, like, this is such a flexible recipe. Somebody said they were afraid of cinnamon rolls. This is the easiest cinnamon rolls you have ever seen in your whole life. I'm just gonna actually add a little extra frosting because I like frosting, and I added a little bit too much milk, but now I'm a little short on milk. Okay, so this was the frosting. You think I should put them? So Judy, the one thing I've noticed with this bread dough is it doesn't seem to ever get brown like it should, but it does get done. So they're actually more done than they look. And I don't know why that is. It's the Kroger brand, and it never gets quite as done as I think it should, but I promise they are done. And if they're underdone just a bit, nobody's gonna be mad at me, I don't think. Probably if I wasn't doing Facebook Live for you guys, I probably would have let them cook one more minute, but I don't wanna make you guys sit here and wait all day long. So that's it. Okay, the true test. Here's what they look like. How many of you wish you were at my house right now? There we go, guys. Right there. The perfect cinnamon roll. So click the link in the video to get it, to the recipe. Make these at home. I'm gonna hop off because I feel like I have talked forever. Add orange zest, that sounds amazing. Y'all, check these out. Hurry on over and make these. What brand is your oven, and would you recommend it? I would not recommend my oven. All of my appliances are GE, and I have not been super impressed. That's what they were with our house. Okay, you guys, go out, make these today. Have an amazing day, and I will be back on later this week. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.